I'm BRAUN. We now know the name of the Monroe High School student who died after a crash on the way to prom.
The coroner identifies her as 17-year-old Kaylie Jackson. The crash investigation continues. Local 12's Larry Davis is live now with the latest from investigators. Hi, Larry.
Hi, Cammie. Well, the four students were leaving dinner and heading for the Monroe High School prom on Friday evening. Investigators say that's when their car went off the right side of Millikin Road, overcorrected, then went off over to the left side, and then eventually hit that tree right across the road. Kaylie Jackson was thrown from the vehicle. She died yesterday from her injuries. Now, the report released today is preliminary, and investigators think that speed may end up being a factor.
Flowers surrounding a cross are the latest additions to the makeshift memorial for 17-year-old Kaylie Jackson. It sits at the spot where the car she and three other teens were riding in crashed on Milliken Road Friday evening.
It appears that the vehicle lost control at some point on that road. She veered off the right side of the roadway, attempted to overcorrect, which led her over to the left side of the roadway, and she ended up into a fence and a ditch line.
Butler County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Melissa GERHARDT says crash investigators spent much of yesterday taking measurements and pictures of Millikin Road as well as the crash site. That investigation is far from over.
Each vehicle has its own individual, what we call a black box, that contains, important information for investigators because it locks in the speed times on the vehicle, and it has a lot of different things, in there that tells investigators exactly what was going right before this crash happened when the vehicle came to rest.
Millikin Road is no stranger to crash investigators. There have been a number of accidents here, as well as other rural roads in Butler County known for their hills and curves. The fatal prom crash has touched so many people: Kaylie Jackson's family, her friends, and other parents like Sergeant GERHARDT, whose son attended his high school prom the following night.
So we worry more on nights like this because we have no control, because we're not driving them there, we're not picking them up, they're doing it themselves. And it's hard. It's devastating for everybody involved. This is a loss that, is unfortunate.
And Cammie, the accident report, which again is preliminary, shows that Kaylie Jackson was sitting in the back seat of that car. She was not wearing a seatbelt. She was thrown from the vehicle. The three other students have been treated and released from the hospital and are recovering now at home. Live in Liberty Township, Larry Davis, Local 12 News. Cammie, back to you.
So sad, Larry. Thank you. Funeral arrangements for Kaylie Jackson have not been released yet. Meanwhile, grief counselors have been helping Monroe students